the channel. So, Prince Harry made an unexpected appearance at the Upfront Summit in Los Angeles, and as always, he had something powerful to say. So, he stood before a crowd of leaders, innovators, and investors, and he wasted no time addressing the elephant in the room. Okay, his surprise attendance. And he told the audience, and I quote, I am here to talk about something that I believe will resonate with all of you as leaders, creators, builders, and change makers. How do we invest in our shared future to solve the challenges we face today as a divided society? And that's what he asked the audience. Now, notice that Harry has definitely upped his game in his speeches. When he was back in the royal family, it had a different tone to it. But now Harry is certainly keeping up with the times, and he is looking at not just who he's talking to in the audience, but he's looking at society at large when he give his speeches now. So Harry spoke passionately about his commitment to service, a value definitely ingrained in him since he was a young child. And as a father, he said he constantly looks for ways to build a better world for the next generation. And he said, and I quote, as a dad, this has me constantly looking for solutions. As a man who was born into life of service, I recognize that with power and a platform comes responsibility. And these days, I am determined to find and invest in solutions. Definitely, not only is Harry responsible for himself, but he's definitely responsible for two young children, and he cares about the world that they're living in. And that's the reason why he's talking about that, with this power that, he has, or anybody who has in general, it is going to come with some responsibility. Okay. And he's determined to find and invest in these solutions. So, despite Harry's global perspective, Harry emphasized that he remains politically neutral, even admitting this with a laugh. He said, hell, I've never even been allowed to vote. And we know why Harry hasn't been able to vote. Royals, they do not vote, they have to remain apolitical. So I'm really happy now that Harry is speaking in a way that is removed from the royal family, and he has his own narrative, and he's speaking freely now based on how he sees the world as opposed to what has been carved out for him or what the royal family would want him to say. So Harry reflected on the legacy of the Invictus Games that he founded in 2014 and the Archwell Foundation, which supports social impact initiatives, digital safety, and mental health. Last three posts that they post on Sussex.com has been about digital safety. The Archwell Foundation grant that was given by the NAACP is also about digital safety. Then they had the other one again with, I think it was on the Child Internet Safety Day. That was about safety in general, it speaks for itself. And then the award that was given to these 18 young people to make the internet safe is the Youth Power Fund. All of that was about safety. So I would say they are huge on when it comes to safety on the internet for sure. I think uh, they lean very heavily in that, and of course, mental health. So Harris said, and I quote, I've spent the last 5 years, sometimes publicly, but primarily quietly, investing in companies that align with my values and vision of a better tomorrow. Companies that understand the power and significance of service. Wow. So, just as how Meghan has invested in companies privately, Harry is saying here that, for the last 5 years, right, which is away from the royal family, we know he has Travelers, which is a non for profit organization that he created. But here he is also saying that he's aligned himself and invested in companies that has his values, and and that visions a better tomorrow. Wow, Harry, what are those companies? It would be nice to know. So Harry urged leaders to prioritize ethical and impactful investments, particularly in technology that serves humanity rather than harms it. And he said specifically, and I quote, if we aren't prioritizing the safety of our children, what does that say about the very industry that is shaping our world? True, absolutely true, because obviously our children are the future for sure. So his words definitely left the audience inspired and reinforcing his mission to champion causes that makes a difference. After Harry's speech, he sat down for a Q&A, diving deeper into his perspectives on leadership, service, and even answering a few fun personal questions. But Harris' commitment for sure to service doesn't just stop there. And just weeks ago, he stood before us at Invictus Games. And Harry said, and I quote, so long as our brothers and sisters are striving to heal and grow, the games are definitely going to go on. And that's what he said at the Invictus Games in Vancouver. This was a promise that he made, and he said it here on stage. Yes, so Harry's message is definitely clear. Service isn't just something he does, it's who he is. And from his work with veterans to his mission to a safer digital world, he's definitely proven that true leadership is about investing in a better future for all. You just cannot sit quiet and expect the world to fix itself and not point out what the world needs, and definitely to put in the energy, to put in the elbow grease, to make it how you envision it. Okay. Gandhi said, be the change that you want to see in the world. So it starts from the person, and he's doing what he has to do. He's doing his part. And now it's our turn to do our parts. And as Harry and Meghan always like to say, it's certainly a collective, it's everybody contributing to make things happen for sure. So not only did we get a little surprise from Harry, well, I wouldn't say a little surprise. It was a huge surprise because he did a full-on speech. Okay. But we also had a little tidbit from Meghan as promised. She promised to take us behind the scenes and to show us clips of the show before its debut on March 4th. And as promised, she's delivering. She always does. And she had a nice little scene with Chef Roy Choi. And basically, it went something like, does he cook and listen to music? And he was giving Megan the type of music that he listened to. And one of them was speed metal. And Megan is like, what's speed metal? Okay. And, so it was just a little fun chat and so on. And it's just nice to see that Megan has moved away from, the stuffiness of the royal family, and she's being herself. And we're hearing her for the very first time. We're hearing her authentic self for the very first time, in my opinion. She's not as guarded. She's being herself, which is very good. And when you live in your truth, it's the best way to live for sure. Also, to Megan and Roy, they were reminiscing of their days growing up in Los Angeles. They were talking about going to all ages club and karaoke bars, and you know doing pretty much doing similar things I wonder how old is Roy Choi. I should look it up right now. Let me look it up and see if he is um Megan's age. Roy Choi. He's 55. So he's a little older than Megan, but it seems like they had the same type of upbringing, and they understood the LA scene for sure, for sure, for sure. So as I'm saying, I'm loving Megan's experience right now, what she's doing, and I'm just loving seeing Megan, you know just letting it all hang out there and not being so guarded and just being her authentic self. I'm just loving that for her. Anyways, that's all for now. Leave your comments below. Tell me what you think about the clips that you've seen so far. Are you excited? Have you cleared your calendar for March 4th? Because that's when it drops, honey, and you don't want to be distracted. You want to watch all the details, which I will be doing. Okay, so I will see you guys on the next one. Love each and every one of you guys. Bye.